Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, till five fans of all
That's
ages.
right.
I'm the notorious ATB,
I'm just incredible, and welcome to the Forbidden Pod.
or episode 11 Redux,
That's
as it
right.
may be called, because WWE forced us to get rid of episode 11.
That's for you, WWE.
And now we're doing the Forbidden Pod again. We're bringing in some friends.
And
The first friend is the man who's not a professor or a bear, but he's Professor Bear with his bear necessities. Whoa.
What's going on, guys?
well, hello.
There we go. I'll lean in, I guess. There we go. So, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. So, Professor Bear, I wanted to bring you on. You are a legitimate lifelong wrestling fan. And even though I like to take jabs at you, I feel like you've accumulated enough knowledge that you could give us some recommendations and maybe give us the bare necessities for you as a fan.
I can do that. It's kind of ironic because my nephew called me today and we were talking about wrestling, and he was telling some of his friends of how he knew about a lot of older wrestlers because of me. And we were talking about his top tens and his Mount Rushmores and just different things in general.
Well, now, Tanner here, he's more of a technical wrestling fan
Yep.
Than I am. I tend to just kind of go all out, all different.
You like gimmicks.
Genres.
You like gimmick stuff.
I like gimmick matches. That's the fact that Professor Bear told us that he liked war games so much. I was like, all right, bet. Because when you go back to that 87 war games with Dusty's team against the Horsemen,
Yeah.
like that's some classics.
Yes, it is.
I think that it was, and I think, and maybe it's just because of my age and everything, but the 80s had so much innovation that carried on to this day that I think if you're a true wrestling fan, you have to go back and look, at least pick up on some of the 80s genre as far as how to talk, how to work, how to your psychology, a lot of different things. Again, it's just because I'm a wrestling fan and I grew up from the 80s, it stuck with me. But I think a lot of wrestling I watch, I see the guys put it in. They're slowly giving that credit to it. And I think it's just a good thing. Plus, as much as I love Jim Cornette, you got to understand wrestling is always needing to reinvent itself and go into the newer stages. But you can do the newer stages and give thanks to the older, and like AEW.
Wrestling has that constant state of evolution.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you have that the 80s you had where storytelling really started becoming more entertainment based. You know, you had your branching out. That's why the Tully and Magnum TA feud was so great.
Yes,
the storytelling that they did back then to get you there.
Absolutely.
And that was another one that was on your list. Now, when you get into the more modern stuff, I loved the Chris Benoit and Kevin Sullivan match from Bash at the Beach. And, like, I remember watching it not knowing back then the personal issues.
Yeah.
So it was really entertaining for me.
I mean, I know a lot of people don't want to talk about Chris Benoit at this point, but I recently went back and watched that match, and you sent me the list, Professor Bear. And knowing what I know now about their past and their history, like, that was fantastic, man. That's such great storytelling in that match.
And the weird thing, I don't know how I found out that they were really into it and with women and everything. Because at that time, I had a little inside track. My brother, he lived in Atlanta, and he worked at a rental car place, so he knew a lot of wrestlers, and he got inside scoops for me and stuff. And I don't know how I knew, but I knew that it was legitimate heat between them two. And I mean, no matter I've seen some great selling, but the punches they were throwing, I thought to myself, they're going to kill each other. We're going to get to see somebody die on TV. This is crazy.
There was real anger in that fight.
Yeah.
And that's why I am one of those people who wondered if Sullivan didn't have something to do with the whole Benoit scandal. Because I feel like there was hostility there.
Oh, I mean,
I get why.
You can't blame them. If you come in and take my wife, I'm not going to say what I would do, but I'm going to do something.
Now, Benoit is a great technical wrestler, and it seems that, like, speaking of wrestling's evolution, if you were more, Bear kind of went more of the violent route, that hardcore, that CZW route, and then on his list though, he went more technical because he gave us AJ, Daniels, and Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Now, I really want to know why you put this one and not the Unbreakable one.
I was very surprised by that one.
Well, both of them were great. Let's first say that. I guess it was because that one touched something with me, especially with Samoa Joe, because I was just really getting into Joe, and AJ I knew was just, like his name says, phenomenal, and with the other guy, God, I blink out all
Daniels.
Old man Daniels. Come on, you should know all about that.
Daniels, I loved him from Triple X and the America's Most Wanted feud. So it was just something about that particular match that just kind of, I don't know, just hit me differently. And like I said, especially with Joe, it was just like, I heard of Joe, but I never really got to see Joe. And I heard about the ROH stuff, but I never really got to see it until he got into TNA. And man, I was just blown away. They worked so well together. And
special talent.
And then, of course,
there's no doubt that when those three guys get in the ring together of any variety, it's special.
Absolutely.
Yes. And especially the Joe spot that I love to this day. Somebody comes off the top rope and he just walks away.
Yep.
And especially for me being a technical wrestling fan, that makes all the damn sense in the world just to walk away.
Yeah. And that's the great thing about pro wrestling is majority of the time it's not very logical.
Exactly.
Like, whatever you do, if Petey Williams gets your head between his legs, don't do a backflip.
Exactly. Exactly. And so that just is like his intelligence and his work rate. And Joe is a big guy, but he can move with any cruiserweight. And then when he went up against big guys, he was just as vicious. So that, again, I just love that match. It just spoke to
me. Samoa Joe is a once-in-a-lifetime special talent. I can't think of anybody else that's on that level that can cut a promo and that can work with any weight division. I mean, he's the best.
The closest one I think of when I see Joe, and the only reason that he's not Joe's level because he couldn't cut a promo like Joe could, is Big Van Vader.
Yeah.
Vader, love Vader, especially when he first came in the WCW and had the headgear. Yes. And he would shoot the smoke out of it. Man. Then I found out about your Japanese style with him, and
I was gonna say Bam
Bam Bigelow also.
Yeah, so it's so many different wrestlers and different styles that I appreciate. Like we talk about hardcore. Well, for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, ECW is okay, and yeah, Terry Funk's there, so
So
they're
let me ask you
certified.
this: as a wrestling fan, Professor Bear, are you excited for the return of CZW's Cage of Death?
Um, it's okay, and
Mixed it
the
up with
reason,
Judge Joe Dredd.
well, I was gonna say it's because I don't know much about it because I never was too deep into CZW,
Well,
and
I know they're going to have Kenta, Rich Swan. I know they're really hyping this one up for like their return. Tanner's excited.
Through.
and just for to see Rich Swan back is very exciting after he went into rehab. So I'm hoping he can keep his act together.
Well, I gotta feel that's probably why he's there.
Yeah.
But
Now the last match that you gave us was actually a match from this year.
yeah,
That one surprised me.
that's a damn good match.
It
though,
was
man.
Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay, two other guys that anytime they get in the ring together, it's special.
Two guys that at this point to me can do no wrong in the ring, no matter who they're with.
Exactly. But and most people would take the pay-per-view match over the television match. And I wouldn't have a problem with that. But for me, that was my first time seeing both of them live. And I was just they if I had money to throw at them, I would have threw it. I just loved it.
Were you in the house in there? Okay.
It was me and my nephew
Totally.
went and we were there.
Well,
And we got
I was there for the unbreakable triple threat with Joe, AJ, and Daniels. So I'm a
oh
little
wow.
partially. That's why I'm like, why?
And that's the thing. You can see something on TV, but it hits different when you're there.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, everybody, you know how they talk about AEW can't sell and blah blah that. Well, we get there, and the lady was like, "Nah, y'all want some better seats? Hell yeah, we want some better seats." So they moved us up, and man, like I said, the match was just
I've had
Will
that match with
Ospreay.
every company.
Yeah.
Like it's not just an AEW thing, but AEW is the only one they want to point it out at right now.
Right. And it was just it just hit so different seeing them live. And it was like, oh, I got to see Swerve that night. I got to see Joe that night.
Did you ever get the experience of seeing Ring of Honor live?
No, I did not. And that's on my bucket list. I am gonna see a Ring of Honor.
To this day, when I hear Led Zeppelin, I get hyped like it's time for Ring of Honor show to start. Because Carrie Silcom would always play Led Zeppelin as the ring crew would come out to the ring.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was great. Like that was always there
for some Ring of Honor action.
Yeah, and I will start like because that's what the fans would always do. They'd be beating on those guardrails. I get why people 15 years ago when people would talk about, oh, I was at the ECW arena, I would be like, oh, whoopity doo. Now I get it. Like I've beat on those guardrails. I get the.
I was so hurt. I was up in Philadelphia. I was up working, and I had a Saturday night off, and I could not find the arena. You talking about upset, hurt? I was just pissed. I was up there working. I think I was up there. I was up in Philly twice, and I think I was up there a month. And I didn't get to see nothing live. I was so hurt and disappointed.
Well, now, Bear, I don't know if you noticed on the graphic, but I made sure to get all of the matches that you gave us there.
Oh,
that
okay.
is actually that is the Ospreay and Fletcher match. It is the Tully and Magnum. And then that is the Sullivan and Benoit. That is from the Against All Odds match, not the Unbreakable. I wanted to make sure and get them all on there for you. We've enjoyed having you on. I hope that you're feeling better. You know, I know
Yeah.
you're in Knoxville. You're only about 30 minutes away from our good friends in the foothills of the Smokies, Green Hemp Company. They're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., Sunday from noon to 6 p.m. You can reach them at greenhempcompany@gmail.com or go visit them at 2560 East Andrew Johnson Highway, Suite 3, Greenville, Tennessee, 37745. Barrett, I'm sure they can help you out with some of the aches and pains you've got going on.
I probably am going to make a visit next week. To be honest with you,
I'm a fan of the Chimera blend and the purple popsicle.
Yep. Good stuff.
So we are
Very good stuff.
very big supporters of their help with pain issues. Bear, it's been a pleasure having you on here.
Any final thoughts, Bear? Anything you want to leave us with?
man, just enjoy wrestling. No matter what type of wrestling fan you are, enjoy it and stop being so dismissive if someone doesn't like the style you like, because in the end, we're all wrestling fans and some of us are smarter than others, but in the end, we're wrestling fans.
There is just as
Enjoy
much room for Zack Sabre fans as there are for Mance Warner fans, as there are for Mickey Knuckles fans.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's it.
And that's the bottom line because Professor Bear said so.
Bear, thanks for coming on, my friend. It's good as always to see you.
Good to be on, guys.
Why do I feel this way? I'm touching space and I'm leaving myself. Oh,
All right, folks, and here comes segment number 4 with our good friend Danny from the Sharpshooters. We're going to do some blind rankings because they dropped that on us.
That's
So
right.
we're going to drop it on him. We're only doing wrestlers from New York. Just hand.
I'm ready.
You're going to have to blind rank these people. There's going to be a list of 5.
Okay.
You start naming them. Are you ready?
All right.
All right. Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish. We'll put a 4.
Okay. Matt Cardona.
Ooh. Let's put him at 2.
Okay.
I like Cardona.
Nunzio.
Oh my God. Oh, that's a throwback. Nunzio. I mean, it depends which Nunzio you're talking about. ECW Nunzio was dope as shit. WWE Nunzio.
We'll call it
sucked.
ECW Nunzio. Whatever Nunzio you want it to be.
Let's go with
Little
ECW Nunzio so I can put him at 3 and not feel bad.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's do Brody Lee.
Number 1. Nice. I'm glad I saved that spot.
And that brings us to the last one, Shad Gaspard.
Oh, great. Number 5. Easy number 5. I like that.
All right, there you go.
That's a good first one. I'm happy with that first one.
That's a good list, by the way.
Yeah,
that was a good list. I like that. Lee, Cardona, Nunzio. Who did I put for? Fish, and then Shad Gaspard. That's awesome.
That's a really solid list, man.
I like that.
So, where would you put Damian Priest, as he's technically from New York?
Damian Priest. I like him. I know some people don't like him. I do like him. I'm gonna put him. I'll put him at 3. Let's put him a nice even, nice in the middle.
Okay. So Chris Statlander.
Ooh. She should be higher, but I'm gonna put her at 4.
4. Shane McMahon.
Shane O'Mac. Shane. Oh yeah, that's right. They are from New York. I'm like, they're from Connecticut. No, they're from New York. Shane. I'm gonna put it 2.
All right.
So at least 1 and 5 again. This is just my MO, apparently. All right.
1 and 5.
Devon Dudley.
Devon.
Reverend Devon.
He can't be 1 though, unfortunately. Reverend Devon's definitely 5. Not even a question. Not even a question. You know what? We'll say Reverend Devon so I can put him at 5 and not feel bad.
Reverend Devon's an easy number 1 for me.
Well, then you're number 1 because I'm the notorious one around here is going to be Paul Roma.
Oh my God.
Congratulations, Danny. You just got Pretty Paul Roma as your favorite New York wrestler. Brody Lee is right up there with Paul Roma.
I love it. Brody Lee, I mean, who doesn't have those two on the same pedestal right there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
2 guys who definitely should have been horsemen.
Well, one of them was a horseman.
One of them was a horseman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arguably the best horseman. I mean, depends who you ask.
It's either him or Jeff Jarrett, the 2 best horsemen ever.
I mean, Mongo McMichael. I don't know. That's.
I was a Mongo fan.
That's in the running.
I like Mongo.
I loved Mongo's promos. I didn't love Mongo's wrestling.
So Danny, you've seen the full list.
Son of a bitch. Oh man.
You've seen the full list of guys that we've got coming into this greatest of all time tournament.
I'm very excited about it.
I am too.
A lot of good names on that list.
Any teasers on who one half of Sharpshooters might be leaning into for your first pick?
Well, I mean, I gotta talk to the Juicebox, but I'm notorious for my boy here, HBK. So if I get a shot at that, I'm gonna scoop it up.
Right there at WrestleMania 12.
Love it.
Yeah, that's, in my opinion, the greatest wrestling match of all time.
Yep. I 100% that one and Undertaker at 25 depends on like what you want to look for, but both those matches,
what you want out of it, they're both
masterpieces. It's great. So,
I'm hoping that Juice gets stuck with Hogan.
That's gonna be so funny. Hogan. It's and your format's interesting because like we're like the way we did it, we just kind of had 2 out of 3 voting, and then we just kind of like let it decide like that. This is just us arguing and trying to figure out like who's going to convince the other.
It is a
And then-
debate.
I know, and it's gonna be crazy because like I don't know what the matchups are gonna be once we
It could
draft.
be a
So,
1 hour show. It could be
Well,
a 5 hour
The
show.
guy
We don't
that
know.
the guy that just put up that Paul Roma is the GOAT. That's our audio guy who knows nothing about professional wrestling.
No, nothing
Oh,
at
that's
all.
gonna be fan. Yeah, that's our producer also. Yeah,
So
that's
he's
why-
our impartial.
we gave our producer a wild card pick. We gave our producer a wild card pick because since it was 3 of us, we picked 21 and we did a field of 64, so we had 1 extra pick. And he picked David Arquette for the greatest of all time field. So we're on the same boat. We're in the same boat.
We should have let Denver make a list.
We should have. Jesse Ventura would have been on Denver's list, I'm sure.
Jesse the Body would have been great.
That would have been fun to argue. Actually, Jesse Ventura versus Hogan would have been a great first round matchup.
Well, like I was genuinely hoping that somebody would put Goldberg on their list so that we could do Goldberg against Bret Hart.
Oh,
Yeah, because we are definitely making the brackets for the first round.
No, Denver gets to
Denver
make.
is blind making the graphics.
We will give him the list of wrestlers, and he will make the brackets.
so we're gonna draft it, and he's gonna make the brackets like in a few minutes after we draft.
No,
Sure.
he will make the bracket beforehand.
Oh, and
we
then we're
will
just
draft
drafting. Okay, gotcha.
without seeing the bracket.
Our
That's
great
so
producer,
interesting.
Dave Denver, friend of the show, Dave Denver.
Oh my god, that's gonna be great.
Well, he's actually part of a band called No Handshakes, and we used one of their songs to help promote this.
That's true.
And that's actually going to be our 5th segment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
We appreciate it, Danny.
Of course, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming by, man. Can't wait for the greatest of all time tournament.
Yeah,
Next
we'll
week's
see
gonna
you
be
on
dope.
Friday the 13th, buddy.
That's right.
So you're telling me to keep my whole night clear? Also, that's what I just heard. It could be like a 5-hour night.
Well, it starts at 7:30, and
And
God help
whatever.
us when it ends.
All right. All right. I'll see you guys in a week then.
Thank
you,
you,
boys.
Danny.
Peace out, guys.
Thank you, Danny.
Fun. And we've seen Danny tonight in the Forbidden Pod. So now I guess it's time for Aaron's favorite segment. Let's squeeze the juice.
Uh-oh. Juicebox is in the house.
Yeah!
We got to fix those blind rankings, get Juicebox in charge.
That's right.
Every
Oh,
drop.
Welcome
Every
to the show,
drop.
man.
Oh, it's
Welcome
not
back.
hot.
Show.
Thank you, brother. Happy to
Sweet
be here. You know,
juice.
you got the better half of the sharpshooters on now in this segment. I'm sorry you all had to sit through that brutal
Well,
one.
hey,
previously,
Danny's a
but-
nice guy.
Danny's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Juice.
We like Danny.
Yeah,
we
we like
enjoy-
Danny.
We do like
We
Danny.
like you because you are the straight-laced guy here for Teal 5 Wrestling and Sharpshooters.
Well, I'm gonna be out of control this one. Let's go. I'll be a mess.
Oh, Okay, let's
blind
see.
rankings. You want to
No,
start?
yeah.
I'll start.
So I have a simple question before we dive in here. Am I getting the same rankings that my co-host did, or is this a different category?
It will be the same state, not necessarily the same people.
Okay, cool. I just want to know if I was getting the same thing, like if I was going to see how he did versus how I did. Cool.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's
This
do
will
it.
be a good navigation. Do you want to start?
Yeah.
All right. So this is the 5, right?
Yes.
All right.
To
Out of 5.
Out of
Here
5.
we go. Big Cass / Big Bill.
So this is just like how I like them, like how I'm a fan of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
One to
Okay.
5.
All right. I'll put him at 3. He's tolerable to me. I don't know what's coming. This could be
All right.
anything. I'll put him at 3.
Reverend Devon.
Specifically the gimmick Reverend Devon. Ooh, yeah, we're gonna go 4. We're gonna go with 4
Easy
there.
number 1. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No. See now, if you told me Reverend Devon with Deacon Batista, like holding the briefcase, I'd be like, all right, maybe 1.
I was thinking more like bringing the boom with Reverend Devon and Big Boom AJ.
Okay, moving on.
So
He's
the
not-
next person on the list is Big Boom AJ.
number 5. Number 6 if he's available, please.
All right.
Oh, brother.
Hook.
You know what? I'm gonna take the role here. I'm gonna go with Hook at 1. I like Hook.
What do we got? One more?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. For your final pick,
All right.
say hello to Zelina Vega.
I'm all right with that. I like Hook and Zelina. Yeah. That's good. I'm good with that.
I like that.
Fair enough.
I like how that shook out. That's good. I made the right call leaving 5 open too.
Big boom, AJ.
Well, then we're going to start with this. Let's go Damian Priest.
5.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't stand him. I never liked him
I'm
in
not
Ring
a
of
big
Honor.
fan either. I thought I was the only one.
I never liked him in Ring of Honor when he was Punishment Martinez. I think he's just been he I don't want to say the modern day Sheamus. I mean it in the way of like Triple H and Shawn Michaels' little like ass kisser and like love project. And I didn't like him before that, but yeah, easy 5.
Okay.
Bobby Fish.
I'm gonna go 2. I like Fish a lot. You know, I mean, I get people don't like him like outside of the ring and like his personality and like his person, but as a talent, I love Fish. I think he's great.
I think Fish is great too.
You know,
Shane McMahon.
I'll go 3 because he's entertaining, but I don't see him as a wrestler, but as a personality on the screen.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'm good with him at 3.
Brody Lee.
Ooh, now this is 1 and 4. I gotta give him 1. Yeah, I like Brody. I like him too naturally, but I can't put him at 4. Not with the way I've done it so far. Definite 1.
So your number 4 is going to be Paul Roma.
Who?
Paul Roma.
The
Paul
greatest
Roma.
horseman that ever lived.
I'm all right with that. I that was before my time, so I'll admit I'm not really.
And the glory. Paul Roma.
He that was Danny's number 1.
It was Paul Roma.
He left number 1 open.
If you leave number 1 open, you got to get.
Yeah, you're taking a gamble with 1 and 5 open at the end there, brother.
I had 100%. My plan was Paul Roma as my last one. Like that was going to be it. As soon as I realized he was from New York, I was like, bet.
Yep.
Because.
Yep, there you go. Paul Roma.
All right. I see how it is. Yeah.
We love Paul Roma here on Till 5 Wrestling.
We do, actually. I don't understand all the hatred.
I will admit, Paul, again, anything that's a blind spot for me, Paul Roma, I don't really got any knowledge on him to add or say.
He's a really good wrestler.
He was a good hand in the mid to late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. I'll look him up. I'll try and learn about
Power
it.
and Glory particularly was a lot of fun.
Yes.
What'd you say? What was in particular?
His tag team Power and Glory with Hercules Hernandez.
Okay.
Yeah. Legit.
Okay. All right. See, this is what it's about, though. Now I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to go learn and read up on some Paul Roma. So
they were together for 2 years, I think, but they were a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, Juice, we're looking forward to seeing you on the Greatest of All Time Live this Friday.
Very exciting.
Absolutely. I am hyped and ready to go.
So
we're going to butt heads a lot on Friday, I think, Juice.
I don't know. I'm going to try and play nice because, listen, this is the game. We're debating, but we're also speaking to constituents that are voting here.
That's
so,
right.
There's a few I feel strongly about, but honestly, I can't imagine any of the ones I feel strongly about are going to truthfully get that defended. So we'll see, but I'm optimistic that it's going to go well.
I really think that anybody on that list, though, if somebody said that's the greatest wrestler of all time, you really couldn't be mad at them.
Right.
There's a few. There
are a couple that you're like you see Hogan, you're like, screw that.
Hey,
you know what, though? I'll say this, though. A little teaser. I think Hogan has a better case than at least 3 other names on that list.
Absolutely.
But yeah. There's a few weak ones on there, but we'll get to that on
the Hogan case, but we'll figure that out Friday.
Yeah. Now, we are we're gonna find out who the first pick is when we have Kim on here in our last segment of the night for the Forbidden Pod. I'm being nice to her. She's kind of
Kim's nice.
She gets a freebie here, but
she's gonna pick first.
She's gonna get the pick first, and she's gonna squeeze the killer Kim, I guess, and tell us about who her first pick is.
There you go.
Do we have any predictions or guesses before we get to that segment? Anybody we have in mind?
So I don't know where her brain goes for a number 1 pick, to be honest with you. It could be anywhere. That's the thing with the list. It's so versatile.
Yeah.
If I were a betting man, though, I would say that Kim selects Kurt Angle.
I'm thinking she goes Danielson.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And I'm thinking Juice is going to go Punk.
Well, you have to remember this is my co-host and I consulting, so
That's true.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
it was just
yeah.
you, yeah. Well, that's I know.
I think that there's going to be some fun cases made for guys like Chris Benoit. I think there's going to be some fun cases made for guys like Harley Race. I think Professor Bear was particularly excited to talk about Harley Race. So
You're
I
gonna
think
have to
that'll be a
sell
lot
me
of
on
fun.
Harley.
Yeah. See, and I will say that if it was just me picking, I would probably not take Punk 3rd overall. It was my first pick, but
Interesting.
that's just me picking solo.
Fair
I
enough.
probably would,
I
based
think
on who's on that list. But depends who goes 1 and 2. If you know,
I
maybe
think
he is.
there's-
Maybe he would go. If 1 and 2 are my 1 and 2, maybe I would go him. I don't know.
I think there's a handful of guys on the list that you could make a legitimate case for all
yeah.
day, every day. And I think those are the guys that all of us are going to be smart enough to take first.
And that's
Yeah.
why I wanted to make the tournament brackets done by somebody who knows nothing about wrestling.
Right, exactly.
No joke. He came in with one of the old school LJN Jesse Ventura figures.
Yep.
Mhm.
And he was like, check out this Hulk Hogan figure.
Yeah, Denver knows absolutely
Yeah.
nothing. Dave, I'm sorry. Dave
Yeah.
Denver.
boy. So
Our
I'm
producer, Dave
I'm
Denver.
sure he's thrilled and looking forward to seeing Hulk Hogan on Saturday night's main event. Then.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
he
did they
really
announce
is.
he's going to be on
Yep.
there?
No, I was winking because Jesse Ventura is going to be on it.
Oh, okay.
I was going with your joke. It's okay.
Sorry. Because they've talked about letting Hogan show
Yeah.
back up.
He'll probably be a surprise.
I'm
Honestly,
sure he'll be there.
I think he'll be on.
Yeah, like that's why I was like, did they announce it? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, really?
No, nothing yet. I don't think they're gonna at this point. I think they're just gonna make it a moment.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, that was Squeezing the Juice.
Juice, we appreciate it, sir.
This is
Of
our friend
course.
Juice, guys. Make sure you subscribe to
The Sharpshooters.
Sharpshooters.
Check them
Yeah.
out on Facebook, Spotify, Twitch, all that fun stuff.
I'll say we don't have a Spotify, but we did just get a TikTok this week.
Hey!
We are brand new on the TikTok. It is not myself running it. I'm not a TikTok guy. My co-host Danny will be handling the TikTok while I handle the Facebook and the
Yes.
Twitter.
That's pretty much how it goes here. I don't have the patience to make videos because if I do a video, I want to make sure to get it like as close to perfect as possible, like with the face lining up or a guy hitting the mat at a boom on the track, and it drives me insane. So I just start hating my life. And
I hate TikTok. I don't like to be on it. Like I don't scroll through TikTok.
Yeah,
but
I don't have one. I stay away. That's why I'm not handling this TikTok. I can't.
I do
it.
have one for the show where I just create wrestling highlight videos. So that's what
That's
I've been
cool.
doing in my spare time. It actually is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time doing that. I made a video for all 32 guys in the bracket.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we
That's
will
awesome.
actually have those on the live.
That's right.
Nice. Oh, and a little quick note also, top of the new TikTok, we do have a new official logo.
I saw
so-
Wow.
the one on Facebook with you guys on your
Yeah.
belts.
Yep. Yeah. The one we were using before that wasn't actually created by a person. I wasn't a fan of it, but we have an actual one made by people now. So yeah, official logo. So we're taking steps. Official logo, TikTok, we're doing all the good stuff.
Good
Good
stuff.
deal.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Juice, we appreciate it, and we will see you Friday, sir. Well, folks, that was 4. Now here comes Killer Kim. We've got this live coming up, and we wanted to make sure that she got the first shot. So here we go, folks.
Hello, Kim. Welcome back to Teal 5 Wrestling.
All right,
Hello, thank you for having me.
Kim, you're going to be part of this live we're doing, and we've had everybody that's going to be part of it be in this Forbidden Pod
That's right.
episode. So here, let's talk about this bracket. So in the first region, you've got Stone Cold Steve Austin against Brian Pillman. Wow. The Undertaker against Terry Funk.
Mhm.
Mick Foley against Raven.
Okay.
Chris Jericho against Hulk Hogan. And then that region is going to take on Ric Flair, the winners of Ric Flair against Jerry Lawler,
Wow.
Macho Man against Edge, Booker T against CM Punk, and AJ Styles against Bret Hart. That's stacked. On the other side of this equation, we've got Rey Mysterio and a Harley Race. And for a young fan like him, that's going to probably be one-sided, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
But for older fans like Professor Bear, because
Bear?
he's an old man,
I think Bear will make a good argument for that.
he'll make an argument for Harley. We've also got, oh, there it is. Triple H against Eddie Guerrero.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Kurt Angle against Chris Benoit. Two guys who are like synonymous with each other.
That's right. Fitting.
Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett, the two best friends. How fitting is that? Yeah. And then on their opposite side, Cena against HBK. Randy Orton against Kenny Omega. Bryan Danielson against Roddy Piper. And Sting against Great Muta.
That one's very fitting also. Sting and Mood is good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Somebody's going to have to sell me on some of these people.
I'll still young Great.
Listen, it's no doubt that there are going to be some very one-sided opinions, I feel like, for multiple people, but I know for myself, and y'all may not agree with it, everyone might not agree with it, I don't care. I will ride this all the way to the end and make sure that he wins. My first pick is Edge. I don't care what anyone has to say about it. That man is my childhood. He won the Triple Crown Championship 14 times. He won the Grand Slam Championship 7 times. He's just one of the best. He is the best, and you cannot convince me otherwise. And that's till 5.
Well,
You heard it here.
that's Kim's first pick. Well, and Kim's out. That's 5, folks. We'll see you Friday.
Till 5.